would you like to have a hamburger?
Yeah.
Well, did you know the first hamburger with the bun was created in 1891?
Really?
Yes. Would you like to learn other interesting facts about hamburgers?
Yes.
Well, let's find out. Who hasn't eaten a hamburger? Nowadays, there are so many types of hamburgers. For example, chicken hamburgers, veggie hamburgers, double meat hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and so on and so forth. Do you want to know the origin of this mouth-watering dish? Well, let's find out. But firstly, let's see some vocabulary, shall we? A bun, a small round piece of bread that is typically cut horizontally and is used for hamburgers. A bun can also be a small round sweet piece of bread, or a hairdo where all the hair is put together in a round way at the back of the head. Mincemeat is meat that has been chopped very finely and is 100% meat. Ground meat is meat that has been put through a meat grinder. Ground meat can have other ingredients that can be in the meat grinder, so maybe it is not 100% meat. Hamburgers usually have ground meat. A spread. Spread is to put a soft substance, for example, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, over a surface. Pickles, cucumbers put into vinegar. Tracing down history, it is suggested that some Egyptians would eat raw minced meat. It is said that around the 12th century, Mongolian Emperor Genghis Khan had a fierce army, and together they conquered a lot of places. They never stopped, and sometimes they would spend days without ever dismounting. Some villagers with some animals would follow the army and prepare their food on their way. But they didn't have time to stop and cook, so their best option, raw meat. Later, in the 13th century, Genghis Khan's grandson, Kublai Khan, invaded Moscow, and because of the Mongolian dietary influence, the Russians created the steak tartare, which is a meat dish made from raw minced beef or horse meat. It is usually served with onions, capers, and pepper, and is often topped with a raw egg yolk. Many years later, the Germans started trading with the Russians and brought the tartare steak with them. In the 18th century, there was a lot of trade in the port of Hamburg in Germany, and people from around the world, especially from New York, started to like the Hamburg steak. Then the New Yorkers and the Germans brought the Hamburg steak to New York. There were some food stands along the New York harbor that sold steak cooked in the Hamburg style in order to attract the German sailors to eat there. German immigrants in America would eat the Hamburg steak, both cooked and raw. Then by 1884, the cooked version of the Hamburg steak started to appear in cooking books. But it was Oscar Weber Bilby who created the hamburger as we know it nowadays, in a bun. The 4th of July, 1891 in Oklahoma. He was with his family and friends that day, and the hamburger was so delicious that he decided to make hamburgers every 4th of July. And sometimes as many as 125 people will show up in his plate. Nowadays, in the USA alone, an estimate of 50 billion burgers are eaten every year. That is 3 burgers per American per week. Burgers make up 40% of all the sandwiches sold and account for over 70% of the beef served in commercial restaurants. So, what's your favorite hamburger? Let us know! So, I hope that you have learned a little bit about the history of hamburgers. So, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.